This is Fox 5 Local News at 5.
Ruthless robbers caught on camera. Tonight at 5, we've got the dramatic department store dashed by the suspects, and you won't believe how they managed to escape authorities waiting for them at the exit.
Then we are following last night's tragedy in the district. A toddler shot and killed accidentally by a family member.
And it's the story you saw only on Fox 5. A D.C. man attacked and slashed in front of his home. Well, tonight we've got an update on the investigation, plus what Mayor Muriel Bowser is saying about it. We will get to those stories in just a moment, but first we are tracking some wicked storms that are making their way across the region. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laura Evans.
And I'm Sarah Simmons. Now, before we turn to the storms, we do need to mention that we are monitoring a news conference on crime concerns in the district from Mayor Muriel Bowser and Police Chief Kathy Lanier. That should start any time now.
We will bring that to you live when that begins in just a few moments. But we want to get back to the forecast now and those violent thunderstorms, torrential downpours that interrupted part of our day for several folks in the area. Our cameras caught some of the action outside this afternoon. The big question tonight, though, will this extreme weather impact the evening commute?
Fox 5's Sue Palka keeping a close eye on the storm for us and joining us live now with the latest on the track. Right now, it doesn't look so bad outside, but what's it look like after this?
Well, you're right, Sarah, and we do have to continue to watch radar. The worst of this has gotten to the south and east of D.C. It is a tough commute, though, for folks in lower southern Maryland and down through central Virginia. And, of course, we're watching training camp for the Redskins very closely, too, because this line is moving in their direction. But in and around the Beltway, for the most part, we have seen most of the action. And this storm, as you know, this line of storms produced torrential rain and a lot of lightning. We have not had many reports of flash flooding because, thankfully, the line has been moving at about 15 to 20 miles an hour, a little faster than some of the downpours from previous days. This is where the strongest of the line is now, pushing across St. Mary's County and down through the northern neck. I'm going to put it all in motion as it moves southeast at about 15 to 20. Very heavy rain being produced. Here are some of the communities that are going to be seeing this storm moving through. Lexington Park right now, Tappahannock about 5:30. Haynesville 5:58 to Elliott and Nanticoke by 6:46. We're also seeing new development. This is with the actual front. The front is now producing a pretty strong storm down toward the Grottoes area and Ruckersville. This is heading in your direction as well. Not only does it have a lot of lightning with it, but I think it's got some hail in there as well. Those are some hail signatures we're seeing, and we're going to track that also moving to the southeast. So that's a real strong storm, and that is approaching Ruckersville, Charlottesville, probably in the next 30 minutes or so. There's the front. It is going to be a humidity buster once it clears the area, but there's still a lot of humidity out there and a lot for these storms to work with in terms of producing 1 to 2 inches of rain as they move on through. But they have done a nice job of dropping those temperatures. D.C. is 83 degrees now. It's still pretty warm toward Frederick and Hagerstown, even Cumberland, up and over 90 degrees. But when we look at the dew points, it's in the 50s in Cumberland, but still tropically humid in D.C. So it's going to be a few more hours before we notice those dew points and the humidity dropping. Here is your evening planner, just so you have an idea that we'll keep a few storms around at 7 at 85, drier by 9, and down to 79 degrees at 11 o'clock. We'll have another update for you at the bottom of the hour. Laura and Sarah?
Sue, thank you. A terrible, terrible tragedy in the district last night. 3-year-old Dallas Cox was shot and killed in her southeast apartment.
Fox 5's chief investigative reporter Emily Miller broke this story and joins us now with the very latest tonight. Emily, such a sad story.
I know. You just hope it would have ended up well, and unfortunately it didn't last night for poor Dallas. Sources say that one of Dallas's siblings accidentally shot her with a gun in her home. And it's unknown how the gun got in the home or if her mother even knew that it was there. But for now, the police investigation continues. There are tears and grieving here in Southeast D.C. today over the tragic shooting death of 3-year-old Dallas Cox. Sources close to the investigation said her mother, Jasmine Johnson, was cooking dinner on Wednesday night when she heard a pop sound from her children's bedroom. She found her youngest daughter, Dallas, shot in the chest. Police sources say that either Dallas's 10-year-old sister or her 7-year-old brother shot her by accident. According to their uncles, the 2 other Cox children are now staying with their father. The D.C. police went above and beyond their normal duties last night. When they got to the scene, they did everything they could to save Dallas's life. They didn't even wait for the ambulance and fire trucks to get here. They just put her in the back of their car, put lights and sirens on, and got to the nearest trauma center in Prince George's County. Sadly, the police couldn't save Dallas. She died at the hospital. The police investigation continues. How did the children get access to the firearm? Who brought the firearm into the apartment? You can't have a gun in public housing. Was Dallas's mother, Jasmine, even aware there was a gun in her home? Her great aunt is a retired Capitol Police officer. After visiting Jasmine today, she said she still doesn't know where the gun came from.
I really don't know, because Jasmine has a lot of people that comes to our house, so I don't know whether somebody could have brought it in. I mean, you never know.
Jasmine, who has 2 other children ranging from 6 months to 17 years, was at home today with friends and family. Her cousin said she was distraught.
At this point, it's keeping her calm, because she's thinking about other children, and the whole thing was getting her calm. She lost her child, okay?
Dallas's great aunt is disappointed in how the child was apparently killed.
See, people getting guns and they don't know gun safety, and they have to know gun safety because there's kids around, and you have to be aware that kids are everywhere.
And there are a lot of questions today about whether the gun was legal. Well, D.C. law, no gun is legal unless it has been registered with the police department. I asked Chief Lanier's spokesman about this, but he would not say if the gun used in Dallas's death was registered. Now, it's also illegal to have a gun in public housing. Now, and also finally under federal law, depending on who the gun belonged to, anyone under the age of 18 is prevented from possessing a handgun. Now, Dallas's uncles have started a GoFundMe page today to raise money for her funeral. We'll have the exact link for it on our website, myfoxdc.com. And now the other children involved, and the one who is believed to have accidentally shot the gun, are staying with their father. The relatives say that counselors and social workers are helpful, and they're going to need to be helpful in the days, weeks, and years to come. This is Emily Miller for Fox 5 Local News.
Also developing in the district tonight, 2 adults and 1 juvenile shot last night. It happened along the 5900 block of Piney Branch Road in Northwest. The 3 victims each had injuries, but we are told they all will survive. When police responded, they saw someone running from the scene. That person was taken into custody and a weapon was recovered. Police have not said if the arrest was related to the triple shooting or if there are any other potential suspects in this case. And we go to Loudoun County now, where police want you to take a good look at this sketch to help identify a person of interest who's wanted in connection with a violent hammer attack. This attack happened Wednesday inside a Ralph Lauren store at Leesburg Corner Premium Outlets. As the clerk was unlocking the dressing room door, he says the customer hit him with the claw side of a hammer. If you have any information on this one, police want to hear from you.
Fox 5 is in Montgomery County, where police are asking for your help in identifying as many as a dozen people who have been stealing items from department stores and then pepper spraying security guards who try to stop them. It's happened 3 times in recent months in Friendship Heights and at Westfield Montgomery Mall in Bethesda. Fox 5's Paul Wagner joining us live now with the story. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Sarah. Montgomery County Police now very, very concerned about this. In fact, they had us out to their headquarters today specifically so we could shoot some of this video off of a monitor at their headquarters. They really want this video out tonight. They want these people identified, and their concern is that they're turning violent, these incidences. These people are going into these department stores at Montgomery Mall and here at the Bloomingdale's in Friendship Heights. They are selecting items, and then they're running out of the stores, and they are confronting security guards with pepper spray. Let's show you the most recent incident that happened on July 23rd. 2 people, a man and a woman, are caught on camera grabbing boxes of expensive perfume and heading for the exit, where they're confronted by an unarmed loss prevention officer who tries to stop them. But it turns violent, and police say the female thief pulls out a can of pepper spray and sends a stream of the stuff into his face. They both then get away. Police say the 2 were acting suspiciously inside the store and were followed by security manipulating several cameras before they took what they wanted and headed for the door. The use of the pepper spray, police say, raises the crime to an armed robbery. The second crime we want to show you now took place on July 3rd at the Bloomingdale's in Friendship Heights, where I am now. It's where police believe as many as 10 or more people, some with distinctive hairstyles and clothing, back on July 3rd, walked around the store examining clothing before choosing what they wanted and stuffing items into bags they were carrying. One man took a jacket worth more than $1,000 and the others concentrated on Burberry items. When they left the store, they were confronted by a security guard who was also pepper sprayed. Do you recognize any of these people?
What concerns Montgomery County Police is the brazenness of these individuals. They walk into high-end department stores knowing that there's surveillance systems, knowing that there's cameras, and they don't care. They don't care who sees them stealing the stuff. They come in with a plan of what they're going to do, what they're going to take, and how they're going to make good their escape. And if they're confronted by store employees or by loss prevention officers, they go on the offensive. And at that point, they assault and attack the loss prevention officer to make good their escape.
Montgomery County Police told us today there was a third incident back in December where pepper spray was also used. They say they did make 2 arrests in that case and they did get convictions. Montgomery County Police say that if you do recognize any of these people who we've showed you tonight, please give them a call at 240-773-TIPS, or you can text just simply crimes to them and they will be able to get in touch with you. Of course, you can give your tips anonymously. Live in Friendship Heights, Paul Wagner, Fox 5 Local News.
All right, Paul, thanks so much.
Fox 5 is in Anne Arundel County, where crews are battling a massive 2-alarm fire. Take a look at this. Skyfox High over the scene along the 200 block of Bayfront Drive in Pasadena. No word at this time if there are any injuries or what may have caused this fire. We're staying on top of this. We'll continue to monitor this story. We'll bring you the very latest as it comes in. A lot of people talking about the story you saw first here on Fox, including D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, a D.C. man who is the grandson of the late Andy Rooney of CBS's 60 Minutes, was choked and slashed with a blade in front of his home.
Now, we do want to warn you, the pictures we are about to show you are graphic. These are pictures of Ben Fishel that were taken not long after the attack on July 19th near 11th and V Northwest. Police are investigating, but the victim is calling on police to release video he says could help in the case. Matt Ackland continuing to follow this for us. Matt, what's the latest here?
You guys, you're right. A lot of people are talking about this, and this could be about the video. Remember, we were telling you last night there were several cameras rolling in the area, and tonight, what is really troubling is that Ben Fishel says he has seen some of that video, which he says shows a man following close behind him just before the attack. He had hoped police would release it, so maybe it could lead to a suspect, but police said they would not release the video because they don't think it would aid in the investigation.
It was a vicious attack with an unknown motive. Minutes after Ben Fishel says he told a group of men at this gas station he wouldn't buy them cigarettes, he believes he was followed and attacked at his front door with a box cutter.
And I was choked from behind. He had me in a headlock, and he was obviously a large individual because he was pulling up on me. I couldn't breathe, and he had a box cutter and came across my chin, cut me pretty deep.
Mayor Muriel Bowser watched the report, and we talked to her about it outside the Wilson building.
Our heart goes out to him and wish him a full recovery.
This attack happened over a week ago on July 19th, but many people hadn't heard about it until we aired our report last night. We wanted to know if police sent out a crime alert. So we talked to some residents. They say they didn't get a crime alert. Also, we decided to check social media sites for DC police. Here on Twitter, if you look around, they post all major crimes, nothing here. And then on their Facebook site, nothing here either. This severity of a crime, do you think people should know in the neighborhood? Is it something that people should be alerted to?
I think that we should look at all of our communications and make sure that people are tapped into it.
We also asked the mayor about other crime across the city and what is being done to stop it.
We're very focused, especially in the neighborhoods where we have seen upticks, which is not all across the District of Columbia, with increased resources and really working to prevent any outbreaks, especially retaliation.
In the attack near 11th and V, robbery was not the motive. Fishel says the man didn't take his phone or wallet. And as his face heals, he hopes this doesn't happen to someone else.
And guys, one quick note before we go. Official told me, I talked to his husband today, and apparently there was some confusion right after the assault. Once they got to the hospital, the doctor realized he had been sliced quite a few times, but then there was a talk between one officer and another. One officer said this has got to be a felony assault charge, and the other one said it was simple. Turns out it's a felony one, but there was confusion right there. Also wanted to tell you we did reach out to Kenya McDuffie, who is the head of the Judiciary Committee. He has oversight of police. He says definitely an alert should have been sent out in all of these cases. And people, if you live in the district and you're signed up for these alerts, you see them all the time, Twitter and Facebook. So we checked and we couldn't find an alert for this particular incident.
Do we know why there wasn't an alert sent out?
Don't know at this point, but I checked with neighbors. I know a few people that live in that neighborhood, and I texted them today, and they looked back and they didn't see an alert at all. No.
Hopefully we'll get some answers. I know as we wait on that press conference too with Chief Lanier and Mayor Bowser, but do police have any new leads at all in this case?
Nothing that we could find out today, but we were hoping that maybe we'll get some new leads from Chief Lanier on this. Maybe the video will be released. Maybe they've gotten some tips, because that's what they're really hoping for, is that the public will reach out. Maybe somebody saw something that night. It was 1:30 in the morning, July 19th, but there were a lot of people around there because there are clubs and bars in that area. Maybe someone saw something. Let's hope.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't release that video. It seems to be just so that it would be instrumental in this
And
case.
even if it wasn't the person in question, maybe that person knows something about it. Maybe he could help if he was right there. And that's at least what the victim is saying. Maybe this person could help.
Okay. Thanks,
all right, we'll stay on it.
Thanks, Matt. Still ahead at 5, a historic church is now the center of an investigation after trespassers leave what some are calling signs of hate on that property.
Then a surprise twist in a missing persons case after the investigation literally ends at a police officer's doorstep. We've got the heartwarming details coming up next. Hey, Fitz.
Hey, it is the battle over the blue claw crab. Maryland and Virginia going at it now over what to call the local delicacy. It's a fight that's got some people pretty steamed. We'll crack that one open for you when Fox 5 News continues in just a moment.
The battle is on. Tonight, there is a war of words boiling up between Virginia and Maryland like a big pot of Old Bay. At issue here, Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe's bold claim that Maryland blue crabs should instead be called Virginia blue crabs. The remark is clawing at many people in Maryland, and the governor of Maryland, Governor Larry Hogan, his office is pinching back. Fox 5's Tom Fitzgerald live tonight in Alexandria with more on this. So, Fitz, what's this whole thing about? How did this get started?
It's getting serious. You know, this all started because Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe was asked a question about the environment, and he went on to make an observation that Maryland blue claw crabs, as we know them, actually begin their life in the saltier waters of the Chesapeake Bay, which happen to be in Virginia. McAuliffe said they really should be called Virginia blue claw crabs. Now, as you might imagine, this is not sitting well with the nation of Maryland, who are not all that thrilled at what they see as Virginia's attempt to steal their seafood identity. The Bethesda Crab House has been serving up Maryland blue crabs for about 55 years.
And the Maryland crab is always sweeter. It has the better flavor.
Owner Lee Yen will tell you Maryland crabs have got a taste that is both delicious and specific.
Carolina crab has more of like a fishy sea flavor, but the Maryland crab is the extra sweet crab.
His customers, like these from Chicago, say a crab by any other name wouldn't be the same.
Last time we came, we drove out to Maryland and had crabs like 6 times.
But here's the thing, Virginia's governor now has cooked up a controversy over crabs that has got a lot of Marylanders steamed.
They are now Virginia crabs. I just came out with the truth.
Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe bases his claim on the fact crabs spawn in the Virginia waters of the Chesapeake before they migrate to Maryland. It is a point which fact checkers PolitiFact sided on with McAuliffe.
All of those crabs, Chesapeake Bay crabs, were born in Virginia. Unfortunately, the currents take them. They die in Maryland.
Now, them's fighting words in Maryland, where Governor Larry Hogan's office fired off a statement saying, like most Virginians with any sense, eventually the crabs move north to Maryland, where the waters are much more inviting and hospitable.
Do you agree with him or disagree with him?
I totally agree. I grew up in Bethesda.
You agree with him?
Virginians like Linda Donovan are savoring McAuliffe's blue crab boast.
Nobody says Virginia crabs.
We can start. We all started wearing seat belts.
While Marylanders like Andrew Summers say, no way.
Have you ever had anybody ask you for Virginia blue crabs?
Never. Never heard of such a thing.
But while Virginia and Maryland clawed out over the crabs, Lee says there is a cold, hard fact we should all keep in mind. Where are most of our crabs coming from?
Most of the majority of crabs are coming from the Gulf.
That's right, the Gulf of Mexico, which should make Maryland and Virginia both feel pretty steamed. Well, you know, here's the deal. Governor McAuliffe is not budging from this position. Governor Larry Hogan is emphatic about this. They are Maryland blue claw crabs. You know, a long time ago, my grandfather told me that it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So let's say it right now, Sarah and Laura. These are Maryland blue claw crabs. Back to you.
Good. Is this summer fun governing, or are they serious about this? I don't understand.
I think there's a tinge of seriousness, don't you think, Fitz?
There is rivalry between these two states, and they will go at it over any issue. But, you know,
that is true.
Listen, Maryland is known for its crabs. Virginia's got some pretty good wines these days. They don't need to be greedy. Let Maryland have their crabs. Virginia can have the wine.
Guys,
everybody's happy.
We got to remember the branding here. Virginia's for lovers, Maryland's for crabs.
There you go.
Let's end it there.
All right.
And
we have to, Fitz,
and
unfortunately.
Maryland loves their crabs.
We got to go.
Exactly.
Thanks. Looking ahead here at 5.
And we represent both.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. You're the
That's
lover, I'm the crab.
I know. Virginia, Maryland. Looking ahead here at 5 o'clock. More fallout in the checkout aisle after reports that a popular grocery store overcharged its customers.
Yeah, it's never convenient to run out of items in your home. You want to be fully stocked right now, and now you can. Details behind Amazon's new Dash button. That's next in tonight's Consumer Crunch.